All right, so Oleksandr Usyk defeats Tyson Fury with a 12-round unanimous decision, not split, unanimous. 116, 112 across all three judges' scorecards. They did have an AI judge doing scoring as such. He had it 118, 112, so quite wide for Oleksandr Usyk. Now, before I dissect this fight and give my 2 cents on it, I just want to say credit to both guys. This was an intriguing watch all the way through. 36 minutes went like that. It absolutely flew in. It was competitive throughout. There was plenty of swing rounds. There was plenty of decisive rounds without the drama of the first fight. We didn't have quite the drama that we had first time around, but nevertheless, this was an excellent watch. We saw the two best heavyweights in the world, in my opinion, go at it. And this fight right here, this was more competitive than the first fight. The first fight, Fury had his moments, but in comparison to Usyk, he didn't have enough of them. He was outlanded in most of the rounds. He was hit with more power shots and big shots. He was nearly knocked out. He was comprehensively beaten, in my opinion, first time around. This time around, however, we saw a different Tyson Fury. He was more aggressive, but it wasn't overt aggression. I didn't think he could do full-blown attack. I didn't think he could do that. I didn't think he could do it, but I thought it would be kamikaze almost, for a variety of reasons. He runs the risk of running into big shots, and he also runs the risk of gassing out. And we did see him, he didn't gas like Johnny Fisher gas, like he did against Dave Allen, but he certainly did slow down as the fight went on. And what's the key thing? Slowing down in a fight is one thing, but when you slow down against someone like an Oleksandr Usyk, who the first couple of rounds, Usyk will be good. He'll be sharp, he'll be on par, he'll be brilliant, right? He's a very, very good fighter, we know that. But as the rounds progress and he warms into a fight, and I think you see the training he does, because it's unbelievable really how in shape and how athletic and how much of a freak in the gym this guy is for the training he does. You see the superior fitness of Oleksandr Usyk really come into light as the rounds progress. Now, if you're someone who does a lot early on and then needs to, catch a second wind, wait, take a few rests here and there. If you are going to do that against someone, right, you do not want to do it against someone who comes on as a lot stronger as the rounds progress, which Oleksandr Usyk does have a tendency, what he always does pretty much. And that really happened in this fight. Now, Anthony Joshua scoring this fight, he had it for Oleksandr Usyk at the end. I don't necessarily agree with his scorecard. Some of the rounds, like the first round, for example, was a very nothing round. Fury didn't do much, nor did Oleksandr Usyk, but I edged Oleksandr Usyk in that round. There was a lot of swing rounds in here. A lot. Rounds like round number 9, round number 10, you give them to Fury. Rounds like round number 11, and I think round number 6, you give them to Usyk. There's no ifs or buts. A lot of the rounds in here were open to interpretation. Fury did some good work. He didn't showboat. He didn't showboat at all, really. He did some good work, but then he gets caught with a lot of body shots. He gets caught with a lot of left hands to the head. You look at the punch stats, the power shots. A power shot is anything that's not a jab, whether it be to head or body. They were very much in favour of Oleksandr Usyk. So he was doing work. He was landing power shots in there, whereas Tyson Fury, early on, he was using his height. Now, if you look at him in the first fight, he was holding that left hand out, but he was literally holding it diagonally in one place. So Oleksandr Usyk was able to just, you're holding it there, okay, slip, boom, 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 and he was peppering him to the body. In this fight, he was literally, now you're not allowed to do this. You're not. The referee should have been having words, but he didn't. He was literally following Oleksandr Usyk at times around. So it's almost like, you ever see where, you see like an adult and like a kid's trying to come at him and he just holds the hand out. He can't go anywhere. He can't do anything. You hold him. You're like, no, you're not moving. You're not going anywhere. And that was what it was like. Now, the problem with doing that, one, it's illegal, but the problem with doing that is when you're a man of Tyson Fury's size, they're big, heavy arms. You can only do that for so long. And he was able to offset Oleksandr Usyk by doing that early on. As the round progressed and he got more flat-footed and he got more tired, that went out of his game. And then he kind of resorted more to clinching. Now, again, clinching is all well and good. It's not technically legal. They will permit you a certain amount of clinching. But clinching when you're, in control is one thing. But when you're in a close fight and you're using that to catch your breath, you're using that to stop your opponent's offense, all the while you're not really giving much offense yourself, what imprints that leaving on the judges? because it's not like you're Vladimir Klitschko who's shutting the opponent down completely from the outside, and when they get close, clinch. Same with Lawrence Okoli. Usyk is landing some shots, and Fury is like, okay, step in, clinch, miss with a jab, clinch. He was clinching an awful lot. Again, he wasn't taking a foothold in some of these rounds. Having said that, when he did do good work in the rounds, it was very good. It was very good. Ultimately, when this fight was over, I could have seen it going either way. I was doing a watch along, and when you're doing a watch along, although you're watching it without the commentary, you can be somewhat influenced because you see the live chat, and some are saying this, and some are saying that, and some are saying this, and you're kind of like, oh, what, am I missing something that they're not? Ultimately, by the end, it could have went either way. It could have went either way. I probably would have given it to Usyk by a point, by a round or two. 116, 112. I can see it though. Like, it's not an outrage. Frank Warren, straight away, it's a disgrace, it's this, it's that, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Good to know, Frank. That's brilliant. Yeah. Next. In reality, it could have been that scorecard either way. I wouldn't have had a complaint if they gave it to Fury by that scorecard. I wouldn't. Usyk, no complaints. If Fury had won this fight, I would not have once complained, because there was enough rounds open to interpretation, and he did enough to have a claim for some of these rounds. When you have, that's what I say about swing rounds, right? Dave Allen, Johnny Fisher, that fight, I would deem that to be very controversial, right? Now, you would say, well, hang on a minute, G. That fight, in theory, was closer, was it not? Yes. However, the rounds in that fight, although it was a 10-rounder, the rounds you can score to Dave Allen, you cannot score them to Johnny Fisher. You physically cannot score those rounds to Johnny Fisher. Likewise, the rounds Johnny Fisher won, you cannot score those rounds to Dave Allen. In this fight, however, you could say, right, well, I think Usyk did better in round number 1, but Fury did land some jabs. Could I give it? Could I edge it? What do I like? I'll give it to Fury. I'll give it to Usyk. You couldn't do that in the Johnny Fisher fight. That's where swing rounds come in. It's not a case of one guy. That's why I don't like giving even rounds. I don't like doing it. I never give even rounds. But that's where an even round could come into it, because you could look at that round and say, well, crap, neither guy really got a foothold in it. I'll give it to Usyk. I'll give it to Fury. Very close fight, very competitive. Ade asked Oleksandr Usyk your thoughts on the scorecards. He simply just said, I won. He's good. Now, Frank had words for, I would imagine, in place of Tyson Fury, because he doesn't appear to be in the ring, so there's no Happy New Year, there's no anything, there's no his country's at war, thank God, because that was just not nice. I'm taking from AJ there, but that's what it was. Daniel Dubois instantly cut in, said he wants his rematch with Oleksandr Usyk. He's got his fight with Joseph Parker coming up. Listen, Oleksandr Usyk, in this fight here, and in the week leading up to this fight, he had the boxing establishment, the media, desperate for Fury to win. Oleksandr Usyk is a man of faith, and he puts everything in God's hands. And some people have said, who was it who said, there's a saying, if you jump, just know that God will catch you, or something like that. Have faith that God will catch you. And I think that's pretty much sums up Oleksandr Usyk. He always has that faith, and he's got someone there. He's got a guardian angel. He's got someone. And that's the best way you can explain it. He had to go against not just Fury, the boxing establishment, the media, the people who wanted to see Fury Joshua, the people who wanted to see Tyson Fury win. He had to go up against them. And they will be the Simon Jordans of the world, disgraceful, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, leave him to me. That's all I'll say on that one. I'll leave it there, people. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. How did you score it? Controversial? Not? Let me know. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.